When people drop money here or divide here to fill out the proper budget, Honorable Speaker, we know very well. Honorable
The communications from the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Joseph Senior, is submitting a draft abridged recast fiscal year 2024 national budget for legislative approval. B. Informing the House of Representatives of his travel to Bali, Indonesia, to attend the second Indonesian African Forum from September 1 to 3, 2024. Thereafter, he will proceed to Beijing, China, to attend the Forum on China-African Cooperation Summit from September 4 to 6, 2024, and will leave the country on August 29, 2024. C. Communication from Honorable Yekeh Kolubah, Senior, Representative Yekeh District, County, craving the indulgence of plenary to amend Rule 63 of the House's Rules and Procedures to allow the appointments by the Speaker of the Revenue and Appropriation Subcommittee on the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and Development. 10. Miscellaneous 11 adjournments. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was the reading of the draft agenda for today's business.
Information, Honorable Sir. The mic is coming.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my information here has to do with item E on the agenda. E and C. It's E on B, but the agenda here is full. It's E on B. Commitment of the draft, a brief recap for fiscal year. Because I think it will be prudent enough while the committee is conducting investigation and has not concluded the committee, it will be expedient that they will be removed from the agenda. And I will wait until the committee submit a report concerning the alleged application of operations to do this public body the fairness in execution of duty as prescribed in Article 34 of the Liberian Constitution.
Information denied. This is a communication from the President, and on our rules of communication from the President is read. There is no action that is being proposed. It's a communication from the President, and all communications from the President will be read. Having listened to the reading of the agenda, what's your role and pleasure, Honorable Kamara?
Honorable Speaker,
Honorable Speaker, fellow colleagues, having listened to the agenda being read, I move in a second that this agenda be adopted to be used for our today sitting. In a second.
It has been moved and seconded that we adopt the agenda as read. Are you ready to vote? Already, Honorable Sokram.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, to the movement, I will be ready to vote. If you could kindly accept this simple amendment, which is moving item C on the agenda to B. That's A on B. Read and accept the simple amendment.
Can you clarify?
I will be ready to vote on Speaker to the movement. If we can make a simple amendment by moving item C on the agenda in the position of item A on BA on the agenda. Okay.
The chair will have to see that amendment. Under our rules of procedure here, the president's communication always. Are you ready to vote?
Yeah.
You ready to vote?
Yeah.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
No, you don't say yeah. Are you ready to vote? Say already. You don't say yeah. Say already.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinct colleague. I will be ready to vote at an 8. If it can be paid, we reverse into the executive before going into the matter. At an 8. It's very important. Yes. Yes.
To my colleagues, this is like this. Yes, are you ready to go? Are you ready to vote? All those in favor say aye. Opposed no. The agenda is adopted. Call for petition.
There are no petitions.
Call for standing committee's report.
There are no standing committees reports.
Call for special committee report.
There are no special committees reports.
Call for bills, motions, and resolutions.
There are no bills, motions, or resolutions.
This is on the speaker's desk.
Yes, sir. Republic of Liberia, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Monrovia, Liberia. A proclamation by the President. Whereas an act to repeal and act to amend Section 1 of an act fixing the day of annual adjournment of the Legislature of the Republic of Liberia and to establish a new thereto, an act setting the calendar of adjournment for the Legislature provides at Section 2, second adjournment, second constituency break. The second constituency break shall commence not later than the third Friday of July of each year and end on the second Friday of October of each year. Whereas, in accordance with the aforementioned Act, the second regular section of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia adjourned on Friday, the 19th day of July 2024 to commence this second constituency visit outbreak. Whereas, there are time-bound critical national issues, including the proposed recast budget, which must be resolved as a matter of ordinances in the which the return of the legislature in October. Whereas, Article 32B of the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia provides that the President shall, on his own initiative or upon receipt of a certificate signed by at least 1/4 of the total membership of each House and by proclamation, extend a regular session of the legislature beyond the date for adjournment or for a special or extraordinary section of that body to discuss or act upon matters of national emergency and concern. When the extension or pause is request of the legislature, the proclamation shall be issued not later than 48 hours after receipt of the certificate signed by the President. Whereas, in accordance with Article 32B of the Constitution of this Republic, the President has, upon receipt of a certificate signed by at least 1/4 of the total membership of each House, called a special session of the 55th Legislature for a period of 3 weeks, commencing Thursday, August 29, 2024, and ending Thursday, September 19, 2024, to discuss or act upon critical national issues, amongst which is a recast budget of the Republic of Liberia. Now, therefore, I, Joseph Newman Walker Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, Battle of the authority in me vested, do hereby issue this proclamation calling the 55th Legislature to a special session for a period of 3 weeks, commencing Thursday, August 29, 2024, and ending Thursday, September 9, 2024. Giving on my hand and seal of the Republic of Liberia in the Senate of Monrovia this 26th day of August 18, 2024, in the year of our Lord, and of the independence of the Republic, as 177th, Joseph Newman Walker Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, by order of the President, Gabriel H. Salih, Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs. Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was a reading of the proclamation issued by the President in receipt of your certificate for reconvening.
Thank you very much. Before we note this communication, we need to make some clarity, especially for our friends in the press and those in the public who are watching. The procedure constitutionally is there are 2 ways we can be called. We can be called by the President, or we can call ourselves back. How it operates operationally is when the President calls us back because we are in recess, the government foot the bill or pays for our being called back. When we call ourselves back, we forego and waive our salary for the period, any salary for the period of callback that would have affected the callback to the President of the President. This House, in consultation with the Senate, after receiving the recast budget by the President, made the ultimate sacrifice to call ourselves back. I don't want any misconception about how we got here. Because we call ourselves back, we issue what is called a certificate. And when that certificate is issued, the President has a constitutional duty to issue a proclamation calling us back. So the call back is that of the House. I would like to tell my fellow colleagues, thank you for making the ultimate sacrifice to work without pay on behalf of our people. The proclamation is so noted. Honorable Tolls, appreciate you.
So there you have it. They were called by themselves.
Honorable Yekeh Kolubah, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Cameroon, Liberia. Honorable Speaker and members of the legislature. Reference: submission of the draft recast national budget for fiscal year 2024 to the national legislature. It is my distinguished honor to submit to the 55th National Legislature of the Republic of Liberia the draft recast national budget for fiscal year 2024. I extend my profound thanks and appreciation to you for the level of cooperation during the first part of the fiscal year. I view such pragmatic action as a healthy sign of cooperation and coordination among our branches of government in pursuance of our shared national development objectives. This has offered us the opportunity to prioritize policy-driven programs as articulated in the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development, resource envelope. The proposed resource envelope for the fiscal year 2024 recast budget is projected at $738.8 million, comprising of a rate-adjusted portfolio of US $721.5 million, plus US 17.3 billion to be raised through the following revenue mobilization measures: increment in GST on a selected set of goods and services that have little or no significant social impact, increase in non-concessional mineral royalties, an executive order for surcharge on imports that compete with domestic manufacturing imports and sales of debt instruments. Proposed expenditure priorities. The proposed expenditure for fiscal year 2024 recast budget is shared between US $672.3 million, or 91% of recurring expenditure, and US $66.6 million, or 9% of public sector investment.
Information, Honorable Kolubah.
He just told me to take up this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we need to understand the purpose of
Information.
Sure. The people sent us here to represent them. For all the development income. The budget is being authorized. You can sit here without getting redress of the budget that is being authorized. We come here to discuss our defense budget. Mr. Speaker, let me say this: it's under your camera that the budget is being authorized.
Information denied as premature.
It's premature, right? So the budget is being authorized under your government.
Your information is premature.
Because at this time you need to recuse yourself because it is under your government. Mr. Speaker, at this time you need to recuse yourself. Mr. Speaker, at this time you need to recuse yourself because it is under your government. The budget is being authorized. People feel the budget here, and people drop money here to divide here, to fill out the proper budget. Honorable Speaker, we know very
Please leave for a few minutes now to have a come back in your information is denied.
I will leave for 5 minutes and come back.
Yes.
I will stay because
No, when you come back, you
I will stay because I did not sign to come and do free work. I came here to make a person's feel because this budget have been offered. They have been offered. It is under your government. You need to leave on the case. You don't have a person that will fill a document in the place. He accused and is not document in document. And you fill out the budget of this document.
We ask you to leave for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I will leave. I will leave for the 5 minutes.
So he's agitating that the communication about the recast shouldn't continue on grounds that there is alleged issues of altercation of the budget or alteration, as we say. But we continue with this.
And US or 9% of public sector investment plan. Among the key recurring expenditure are debt services to commercial banks arising from construction projects and interest on debt instruments and to multilateral institutions in order to unlock opportunities for financing medium-term development priorities. Other recurring expenditures are compensation of employees, operational goods and services for government entities and subsidies, grants and transfers to governmental and non-governmental institutions in the health, education, and social service sectors. Public sector investment plan. Honorable Speaker and members of the legislature, The national budget is a framework for planning and executing short, medium, and long-term public sector investments that will reduce the infrastructure and other capacity gaps that constrain growth and development. However, given the limited time to design and formulate projects through the regular sector working group for inclusion in the budget, ongoing public sector investment projects that are aligned with the arrest agenda for inclusive development have been prioritized such that allocations for those projects are ring-fenced to ensure their completion. The proposed allocation for public sector investment projects is US $62.1 million and $66.6 million. The proposed allocation for public sector investment projects is US $62.1 million and $66.6 million. Some critical programs have been prioritized within a PSIP envelope include the following allocations: US $30.7 million or $30.7 million to road projects, US $1 million or $55 million to district development projects, and US $1.7 million to youth RCT capacity building. Debt and debt servicing. Total public debt stock at end June 2024 stood at US $3.7 million. Of the total debt stock, domestic debt stock was US $1.3 million, which accounted for 45% of the total debt stock, while external debt was approximately US $2.4 million, or 55% of the total debt stock. This debt portfolio amounts to 55.8% of nominal GDP. In this draft recast budget for fiscal year 2024, the total cost of debt servicing has been projected as US $108 million. This consists of US $53 million, or 49% for domestic debt, and US $55 million, or 51% for foreign debt servicing. While we remain committed to reducing the public debt stock to create fiscal space for our development priorities, the constrained fiscal space and increased demand on budget resources have limited our ability to service the debt as we initially envisaged at the start of fiscal year 2024. We have initiated plans to enhance domestic resource mobilization so as to reduce our almost perennial financing gap, which creates the demand for the acquisition of debts from domestic or extended lenders. Among these are the recently enacted value-added tax law with technical support from the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, which is due to come into effect in fiscal year 2026. An African Development Bank supported domestic resource mobilization project due to start in fiscal year 2024. The World Bank supported governance reform and accountability for transformation project, proposed revision of the fiscal regime in our national resource sector, and increased vigilance in revenue administration. Conclusion. Honorable Speaker and members of the legislature, this proposed recast of the fiscal year 2024 budget is not a comprehensive overhaul of the entire budget. As you will notice, the allocations to most sectors, spending entities, and budget lines remain unchanged. The adjustments in the appropriations for selected expenditure lines are necessitated by the need to rebalance the budget in a way that enables the government to more effectively respond to challenges in the fiscal and monetary sectors. The timely deliberation and approval of the reprogrammed fiscal year 2024 budget will reduce the challenges associated with executing a budget based on realizable revenue projection and the associated uncertainties that characterized the first half of the fiscal year. This will also create a favorable baseline on which we can project the revenue growth and for fiscal year 2025 and beyond. Sincerely yours, Joseph Newman Barker, Senior President, Republic of Liberia. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, now is the reading of the draft recast budget as submitted by His Excellency Joseph Newman Barker, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia.
With the reading of the first reading of the communication from the President of Liberia submitting additional recast budget for this government session. Honorable Martin Cole.
Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I move by the settlement that the draft recast budget of 2024 has been read by the Chief Clerk of the Honorable House of Representatives be received, subsequently forwarded to the committees on Ways, Means and Finance and the Public Accounts Committee for deliberation in one week time being reported to us.
Motion to ask is before even there's a second, we want to seize it. The competition president in a presentation, if you listen to when we received it, we have to ensure from our perspective that those competition presidents have been there before this document goes through.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, that said, we refer the matter to leadership to ensure that the competition president are there. The deputy chief clerk will ensure what we said was that our report on the budget alteration return, all of the performance reports, the report on all budget expenses, all of those reports are submitted.
Long live the Speaker.
Before we consider we will do that. We will do that for the next few days. We will do it, Honorable God. We will do it for the next few days. And we will go to you on Tuesday as to whether or not the Bishop President has been met before we entertain a motion to assign it to committee. Next.
Orders for the President. August 28, 2024. Honorable Jamaican Corporation, Speaker, House of Representatives, this is to inform you and tell you, Honorable House of Representatives, I will be planning the budget in the future. This is to inform you and tell you the Honorable House of Representatives I will be traveling to Indonesia to attend the second Indonesia African Forum from September 1 to 3, 2024. Thereafter, I will proceed to Beijing, China, to attend the Forum of China Africa Cooperation Summit from September 4 to 6, 2024.